Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the next edition of the Sherlockian interview. Today, it's Tania Henzell, who is the creator of the Sherlock Holmes Tartan. Hi, Tania.
Hi, Steve. Hi.
Now, you're quite a long way away from me, aren't you? I'm down here in London. You're somewhere further north.
Yeah, I'm up in Scotland. That's where I am, and it's a very warm day today.
Fantastic, and yeah, it's pretty good down here in the south as well. I'm going to start with just a quick reminder for everybody that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, although he was from Irish descent, he was actually born and brought up in Edinburgh in Scotland. And here's a couple of things that you can see if you go to Edinburgh: the Conan Doyle pub, and then there's the wonderful statue of Sherlock Holmes as well.
Yes, but that statue is not there at the moment. Sherlock is in lockdown. He is somewhere else, and we don't know where. The reason the statue is not there is because of the tram works which are going on in Piccadilly Place, because that is where a big tram station is being built. And of course, as the statue is very important, it has disappeared. Anyway, and the Conan Doyle pub is just around the corner, and that's a very popular location too.
Fantastic. So,
Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was born in Piccadilly Place, and that's why the statue was placed there.
Okay, so you could say that Sherlock is in lockdown and isolation, just like the rest of us at the moment.
You bet, yes.
So the tartan, this is the tartan here, and here's the colorways. How did you come up with the idea?
Well, I thought of Sherlock in his when he was very popular, doing all his cases in the sort of early 19th century, and I realized he wouldn't be wearing bright colors like reds and whites, and so I thought he just very muted colors, like the muted blues and greens, would suit him better. And then the lighter, or the ice blue, actually, I really like that color. The ice blue stripe is the Rackenbach Falls, and the yellow is a sort of yellow goldy color to show that he's a top detective in London of his time. So I just pulled all these colors together and realized that they're very unisex as well. So as men and women can wear the tartan.
Yeah, and coming on to that, here are some of the items that you create from the tartan. What are the most popular ones?
Well, for the men, the most popular are the ties, bow ties, and self bow ties, which the Americans like, and scarves. And actually, some people do like braces, especially the Americans. But also for the ladies. Now, they do like that, as you can see in the picture, the fake fur hats, especially, of course, in the winter, as well as the lambswool scarves, and also the handbags and the evening bags, which I make too. Because, of course, Mrs. Hudson, I have her in mind, thinking that she would like to wear them too.
Fantastic. Yeah, we've got a very popular book called The Memoirs from Mrs. Hudson's Kitchen. And at the moment, we've been posting recipes from the book onto our blog. And then some of the most popular blog articles with people in lockdown are trying out these wonderful recipes from Mrs. Hudson from the early 1900s. Tell us about the links to the Conan Doyle estate.
Well, I am Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's great step-granddaughter, as I'm related to his youngest daughter, Jean, who married my great-grandfather. And unfortunately, they had no children together, but he'd had a daughter from a previous marriage. So she would have been my grandmother. So that's how I'm related. And my uncle, Richard Pooley, is the chairman of the Conan Doyle estate. So he has sort of helped me get the tartan onto the Conan Doyle estate. And also another Richard Doyle, who is my great I can't remember, but he's a relation. Anyway, he came to the launch party where the Tartan, which was a couple of years ago. So he was quite willing to help us with the launch.
Fantastic. And I can see you holding violins there, because of course that's a nice link back to Sherlock. Yes,
that's right. And it was one of those violins is called Sherlock, and the other one is called Sherlockian. I think that's right. And they were taken from a tree outside one of Conan Doyle's homes in Edinburgh. And when they took it down the tree in 2005 or something like that, they asked somebody to make violins out of it, out of the wood. I think it was what wood are they made from? I can't remember, but that's what they did.
It's a fantastic story. And where do those violins, do you know where those violins live today?
Yes, they're in, I think, in Edinburgh University. That's where they stay.
Fantastic. And when the Tartan was launched, there was a loads of press interest in. I remember the launch myself. I remember reading about it all over the place. It was really, really lots of excitement around it.
Yes, we were very lucky, because I thought there would just be one photographer on Arthur's Seat, and 6 turned up, and it was a very windy day. And anyway, we went ahead and took all these photographs with my son all adorned in the Sherlockian outfits. And they had a dog, what are those? I can't remember. Deerhound, that's it, Deerhound, who was with them too. And we were in over 100 national newspapers the following day, so it was fantastic.
I must admit, the newspapers is like a perfect storm, really. You've got Sherlock, who everybody knows. You've got wonderful photography, and you've got a dog. You know, you've got all of the different ingredients that you need for a fantastic story. So, to wrap up, tell us a little bit about the future. What have you got planned?
Well, I'm still thinking of ideas and garments to make up. I think my next one might be a dressing gown, because I know a lot of people have said, a dressing gown would be a good idea. But in the long run, I'm desperate to get the tartan shown in Sherlock 3, which is supposedly coming out end of next year. But with all this lockdown going on, it may not be till the following year, which is slightly frustrating for me. But that's what I'm going to aim to do, because I think Robert Downey Jr. would look quite nice in a waistcoat or a bow tie. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm a massive RDJ fan. I think he's a fantastic Sherlock Holmes. It's been lovely to talk to you, Tania, and I look forward to seeing lots more tartan items coming in the near future.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Steve, for your time too.